Johann Myburgh with you, 93.6 FM, the home run, and very happy to have with me today in the studio singer-songwriter Chris Werge. I would like to know, let's start at the very beginning. How did it all start for Chris Werge?
My earliest memory of music was a Christmas carols around the tree, I guess. We used to visit we go every second year to Port Shepstone, where my mom grew up, to visit her family, side of the family there, and they have a Norwegian heritage, so we singing around the tree is part of the Christmas Eve kind of thing we do. And yeah, that was my earliest memory. And then I think growing up throughout school, I joined the choir. I was part of the chamber choir in high school as well. And I started piano lessons in grade 2. And I went up to about grade 5 Royal Schools in that. But theory was never something that I was like the most passionate about, I guess. So I loved creating music just for the love of it. And that's kind of where my passion was born, I think, starting out. And a lot of bands I listened to in high school, early high school, teenage years influenced me a lot and like inspired me to write. Yeah, I think after that I moved on to drums. After doing some piano for a while, I think I mastered the drums a bit. And then from that I taught myself guitar as well. Asked my dad to show me a few chords, and then
Why, is your dad play himself?
He did, yeah. He used to play guitar, quite a bit. And
so it's in the bloodline, almost.
Yeah, I guess. And from there, I just taught myself. And then the last couple of years, I've been doing some vocal lessons with a lady called Bev Scott-Brown, who's now one of my co-managers as well.
So you're very serious about your career and being a muso?
I'd like to say yes, yeah. It is my main passion. It's like something I'd like to do full time. It is very hard starting out though. When no one knows who you are, and you're trying to make a break in the scene, and you're trying to every opportunity you have is important.
And you also decided on not very much a commercial route in a way, because you're slightly towards either the left or the right, the whole kind of indie folk singer songwriter thing.
Yeah.
But that's what you're about. You don't want to change that.
Yeah, I think there's always a tension of how commercial you sound, and like I think as an artist, I realize there's so many other people out there doing exactly the same thing. So over the last few months, I've just been realizing actually like I have to be myself. I have to do something different to what other people are doing to kind of stand out.
And that's the only way to excel anyway.
Yeah, and I think if you're trying to be someone else and you're trying to create a product that's not really you, it's fake, and I think long term it doesn't really work.
You're 23 years old.
Yeah.
You've been out of school now for 5 years.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that process.
So I went to Rondebosch for 12 years in Cape Town side, and after that I went to study at CPUT in town, Cape Tech, and I did a 4-year BTech in industrial design, which is product design or 3-dimensional design. And yeah, that was one of my passions as well. I think I'm very creative, so I lend myself well to design and music, both of those. So that's what I studied. And then last year I took a gap year to kind of try out the music thing and record an album,
Well, it's just amazing when I look at the youngsters in South Africa at the moment, and I really want to give you a compliment. I mean, you arrive here with your instruments, you've got your camera here, you're in design, you're in the music, you're in the groove. Is that what it's about? It is kind of like, when I was a youngster, we used to focus on something. Yeah. It's as if you guys bring a lot of stuff to the table.
I think nowadays with technology, it's amazing. You can do everything. Not everything yourself, but like I can film myself at home playing a song and put it on YouTube. I can buy a little mic and an audio interface and record myself in my bedroom as well and do some demos. And I think technology it's allowing a lot of people who don't necessarily have like hundreds of thousands of rands to go into a fancy studio to actually start projects and start work at home, which is great. So I think a lot of media and creatives, it's getting not blurred, but people being able to do more, I think, which is great. It's great. It helps you, just branch out into different avenues. Yeah.
Well, I think on that note, let's have a listen, and that to Deep End, and this from his CD called Exposure, here on 93.6.
I'll sing you two verses, 'cause you know I need the truth. Yeah, and I don't wanna seem too clingy. Oh no, oh, 'cause you're the kind of girl I wish I could make laugh. Oh, Shazzy, I think I'm in a deep end. If only you would come too. Put your head back in the water. The stars are right in stellies tonight. It's like there's beauty in the darkness, but I know it's just a contrast of his light. Oh, how I wish that you would share your life stories. Oh, what a friend I'd be, yeah. 'Cause I don't think you have any idea of the love I felt for you when you said you accept me as I am. Oh, well, Shazzy, I think I'm in a deep end. If only you would come too. I'm trying to be the best friend I can be. Whoa. You say that I shouldn't change for you. I now know the way. The word and why it has its name. But I see that as much as I have a choice, oh, maybe I'm not yours, I'm not yours. Oh, Shazzy, I think I'm in a deep end. If only you would come out too. I'm trying to be the best friend I can be. Oh, you said that I shouldn't change. You said that I shouldn't change. You said that I shouldn't change for you. I'm not gonna change for you.
93.6 FM, the home run with me, Johann Myburgh. With me in the studio, my guest for this afternoon, Chris Werge. Chris, influences. I love what's happening here.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to the 60s, which obviously comes from your mom and dad, and then it's kind of like the indie folky thing, which I think is your passion in a way.
Yeah.
And then obviously the South Africa feel as well.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. I think it's so amazing to think back to when you're like a little kid and your dad playing his LPs, on his record player, and just listening to like Beach Boys and like Sting and the Police and different stuff like that, I guess. And those are special memories. And all the albums, I can't even remember half the bands he used to play. I remember Fleetwood Mac he would play. I think Dire Straits as well. Mark Knopfler, I don't know how you say his surname, but he's an amazing guitarist. And just I think subconsciously all those kind of sounds as a kid and as a kid growing up, it kind of sits in your mind and it's in your memory and it influences you somehow, yeah. Which is cool.
But also what I like about you is that your influences really make sense to me. When I listen to where you are right now, I can hear that
Yeah.
you've learned, you've evolved.
Yeah,
And that is
yeah.
important. Let's talk about the whole kind of like spiritual thing, because I think I
Yeah.
can feel that and sense that in your work, which is wonderful. I really enjoy that. You obviously have got an influence spiritually that you would like to bring out. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I think faith has always been a part of my journey, and in the faith of Christianity, from what I've grown up, I think with my parents, and the last few years were interesting, where I just kind of got to a point where I had to kind of choose for myself, and I think everyone has that point in their life where it's not your family's faith, what you've grown up in, and you kind of decide what you believe for yourself and why you do that, and yeah, faith's a big part for me. It's like my hope, and it gives me a lot of inspiration for my songs, yeah.
And evolving in your music, also your sound and your lyrics and what you want to bring out is not necessarily a message of hope, but it's about love and hope at the end of the day.
I think my goal in whatever music or whatever projects I do, it's always to encourage people or to inspire them. That's my goal from the beginning. And then I think when you're starting, it's hard because there's always that pull of tension of like financial gain and wealth and fame and all those kind of things. Like those are cool to have, but like they sideline for me, because the bigger goal is the influence, I think, and the encouragement, and just being able to encourage others, with what things you've learned in your life. Yeah.
And you're only 23 years old.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
When you perform,
Yeah.
what can we expect?
I think you can expect a passionate performance. I think
You can be with a group, a band. You can do it individually.
Yeah. Whatever it is, I think by myself or whether I'm in a band, you'll see like music is a part of my life. It's part of me, and I think that'll like the performance will speak for itself. My vocal trainer once just said a quote online that like Chris like lives and breathes his music, and I think so many artists do. I mean, when you're writing about your own experiences and like emotional and painful situations you've gone through, there is a passion, and there's that comes out, I think, yeah.
Right, Chris, you brought your guitar along. Are we going to hear something this afternoon?
Yeah, you shall.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Can't wait.
Within myself, inside a cave, the light is shining in. Why can't I reach out and take it? Longing for someone. I know your heart it aches, but patience is love. That's the beauty of His grace. And don't forget the blessings all around, 'cause one day you may find His love astounds you. I like to try my best most of the time, even though I know the reaping doesn't stop for quite a while now. And don't we all want some type of recognition? But what we all really need is a love beyond our comprehension. And don't forget blessings all around, 'cause one day you may find His love surrounds you. And don't forget blessings all around. thinking of all the friends I met in the last 18 years. Oh, oh. What is your position? It doesn't even matter. It's just the direction you're moving in.
And that Chris Werge with Rainbows on a Grey Background. What a beautiful title.
Thank you. Yeah. Actually, I wrote
Visually
it.
also.
Yeah. It was actually, I wrote it while I was in my bedroom, I think matric, so like about 5 or 6 years ago.
She.
Oh, actually, I lie. Yeah, I was matric, because then I was 18, because I mentioned the word 18 in the song. But I think there was like 2 rainbows in the sky, and I was just like, whoa, that's so weird. So like, that's where it started.
Well, while we're on the topic, when it comes to doing your lyrics, your process, tell us a bit about that. Are you very ordered? Are you disciplined? Do you work from 8 to 12 in the morning or in the afternoon? How does it work?
To be honest, no, not for this album. For the recording, yes, and the pre-production, yeah. We did about 11-month project to make this album possible. That includes pre-production at my home studio with my producer, playing the songs acoustically, doing pre-production at a studio called Mahogany Studios with Sean Johannes and Werner von Waldsleben and Neil Benjamin. That's getting the groove right and everything. And then we went to studio for 3 weeks for pre-production, more recording and adding layers. There's another 2 months of full final tracking. Then it goes to the mixing engineer. Then it goes to the mastering engineer. And in between that, I'd hired a friend of mine at the Visionarium, Lance Goliath, to do the album art and design. So he did all of that. And yeah.
Are you very particular?
What do you mean?
Are you as a person, very particular? I want it to
I think
project this. Or
I do have that struggle in terms of perfectionism.
Nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
I think it's good in the sense that it drives you as a person and it drives you as an artist, but at the same time, you get a bit. I think you frustrate people around you because your expectations are really high.
I wonder how I knew that you're very particular. It was just something that I picked up.
Yeah, might be. And but just in terms of your earlier question, the songs and lyrically, I actually wrote from an emotional experience. So if I had a heartbreak over a girl or a crush or something that kind of made me feel sad or like a strong emotion, I'd write about that.
A memory of emotion.
That was my way of processing throughout my teenage years and throughout my studies. Yeah. So all those tracks on this album have been written over the last 6 or 7 years. Yeah.
Fantastic. With me in the studio, I've got Chris Werge, and let's listen to Destiny. This from Exposure.
Don't stand still, just keep moving, is what my father said to me. 'Cause even though you're not going that fast, at least you're moving forward. The way my youthful days have almost passed me by, but I finally found a love that keeps me off the ground. Oh, in this pursuit of happiness, destiny, it's taken over me. you're still at an early age, judged by the spirit in your heart, not the wrinkles on your skin. And I know we like to stay in darkness, because without the light it never is exposed. But it's not your time to blossom. I know you're worried 'cause the bud is growing slow. Destiny, it's taking over me, and I need you to see the one who gave it straight to me. Taking over me, and I need you to see the one who gave it straight to me.
I really am chuffed with what's happening in South Africa. I think we can have a radio station that can just play local music all day long.
Yeah,
you
that
guys
would be cool, yeah.
have made us so proud. You've evolved so beautifully. I mean, here you are, a 23-year-old. Your sound is amazing.
Thanks, Johann.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen to Chris Werge. And I just want to wish you the best of luck for the future. Keep that whole kind of soul, spiritual thing in your system.
Thank you,
it's so important.
Yeah, it's always there. It's a part of me.
And it's a reflection, comes out in the lyrics and all the beauty that comes with that.
Yeah.
Great for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
It was an absolute pleasure.
I'd like to take a drive through the city. You can't even sit in front, 'cause you're looking so pretty tonight. And we'd be listening to Death Cab for Cutie. You don't need to say a word, you know the imagery's enough. And I apologize, I know I talk a lot, but I love to listen to your stories even more. So just tell me how you want it to be. You know I told you you're way too hard to read. Oh, give me a sign. I see an interest in your eyes. Oh. And oh, I wish that we could grow just like the music I gave you, but I know it's gonna take some time. And if nothing goes my way, oh Lord, just let me stay in her mind as a good friend. I wish it were more. Please give me a sign. This patience is lacking on a part of mine. Perfect, oh isn't she perfect? The edge of desire. Perfect, oh isn't it perfect? The mountain behind, oh. And all these lovey-dovey thoughts you had inside your mind. Oh, I just wish I was the prince you were looking for this time. And I wonder if you grew up with carriages and rings, playing damsel in your mind, the dragon ate him again. Oh, give me a sign. If only you put your hand in mine. Perfect, oh isn't she perfect? The fake to be real. And I wonder if it is the same with us. So won't you tell me what you're really thinking before my mind is forced to self-destruct? I held out my heart, but you closed my hand.